Welcome, foolish mortals, to another episode of the HitchHiking Host Show. I am your ghost host, Wes Troop, and this week we are gonna venture a little bit out of the Disney parks, just a little bit, for the first topic. We are going to talk about the new ride at Universal Studios Hollywood, Fast and Furious Supercharged. It's on the tram ride, and also what went down in Disney parks this week. So let's hit it with our trending topics. Okay, we're going to kick off this week's show over at Universal Studios Hollywood, where a big new expansion has opened. In the studio tour, you can now experience Fast and Furious Supercharged. It's a new portion of the ride, so much like Kong 360, Earthquake Jaws, a new little portion you ride through. Fast and Furious oriented, obviously. And there's a lot of different opinions going on about this. Yeah. You can check out the videos on YouTube, of course, if you want to see what the experience looks like. Maybe it looks better in person, but I'll go through a little bit of what the ride is about. Oh, of course, there was a big celebration to kick off the ride's opening with stars of the movie such as Vin Diesel and Jason Statham, and some others were there in attendance. But so you're sitting on we're going to talk a little bit about the tram tour now with this section. You're sitting on the tram, and all of a sudden Dominic Toretto's Charger is spotted on the tour. Now, I've seen it a few different places, the cars. I saw it at the Bates Motel in one video, and the other on the Desperate Housewives set. So we'll talk about that a little later. But the one of Dominic Toretto's cars is spotted on the tour somewhere, and the guide calls it into quote-unquote security. Of course, the security guard shows up on the screen above that we've been watching throughout the whole tour. And FBI agent Novak gives us info and tells us not to be a hero, because that's going to happen. And then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, Luke Hobbs from the film, interrupts and notifies us a witness Owen Shaw is after. Owen Shaw is a villain from the movies, is in the vehicle, sort of like a rebel spy, I suppose, and is looking to attack. He's going to attack the tram because he wants this witness. Hobbs sends us to a safe location. We go into the building and find out it's the secret spot that Dominic Toretto's family is located in. We're greeted by the character Roman on the above screens, as well as Letty, Michelle Rodriguez, and we see different props and cars in the actual room we're in, warehouse. We're told to put away our cameras and cell phones as the villains can track us. Yeah, that's why. Also, then you finally venture into the tunnel, much like the Kong 360 attraction, where two big screens playing the film are on both sides. Girls in bikinis are partying because, that's how actual girls party, till the FBI comes in. The agent has Roman at gunpoint until Dom and Letty pop up literally on a truck, as well as Hobbs with a large gun who escorts the agent out. Dom says, luckily for us, his family will protect us. Because, in life you can always count on Vin Diesel to be there for you. And the trams finally pick up speed, and they end up in the film is playing on both sides, and they end up in a shootout and a car chase between the heroes and villains of the films. And then finally at the end, we're told on the above screens we helped save the day and protected the witnesses. Okay. If you haven't seen this yet, do yourself a favor and check it out on YouTube. And I'm glad to see I'm not the only person who thought this was a bit of a bust. Okay, if you're gonna you have the rights to the Fast and the Furious, okay? And you can build an attraction. This was $240 million was spent on this portion of the tour. was that just for like the stars' paychecks? Because it sure didn't look like it was for the attraction. Yeah. This is basically a weaker looking version of Kong 3D is all it is, really. Just Fast and Furious oriented. I'm glad looking at the comments, a lot of people were disappointed with this, not just me. If you're gonna have a Fast and the Furious ride, wouldn't you rather be in a cool car than a tram? It doesn't really make much sense to me. I don't know. It just seems odd. You think you'd do something like a test track ride or something like that, where you actually race another car, something like in Cars Land or whatnot, something speed oriented with a car, not a stupid tram. And the film itself looks very amateurish, and the CGI, a lot of people said it was embarrassing. I'm sure it looks better in person than on the YouTube screen, but still, you get the gist of it, and it doesn't look very good. A lot of people have said, you know, Kong 360 is a lot better, that have actually been on the ride. And I wasn't even huge on that one. I mean, it was alright, but there's too much video screens here at Universal, and I'm glad I'm not the only person that's yelling about it now, because there's more and more people. You know, people from Florida are like, Hollywood, you can keep that piece of crap. I'm sure even Fast and the Furious fans are, shall we say, furious about it. You know, they're like, I'm a big Fast and the Furious fan, and this is what I get, you know? I'm sure there's going to be people out there that think it's cool, and that's fine. You can like it. I mean, I like things that other people don't like, but, yeah, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, this seems to be a missed opportunity, shall we say. What a waste! Okay, now we're gonna go back to Disney parks. We went into that elephant graveyard called Universal, and now we're going back to the light side. Selfie sticks have now been officially banned from all Disney parks. This past Wednesday, California's Screamin', of course the roller coaster at Disney California Adventure, had to have an emergency stop because someone pulled it out while on the ride. The selfie stick, that is. Security will now be checking for the item in your bags at the security checkpoint, and it will be held for pickup at the main entrance if you so have one in your bags. So don't even try bringing a selfie stick. I'm very happy about this news. Now, I know some people will probably be mad because they love their selfie stick. And it would have been okay if you were off to the side, you know, taking a picture of you or your loved ones in a group or whatever, off to the side, not bugging anybody, you know, at like the Snow White's wishing well or whatever, or in front of the castle, over to the side, so you're not blocking anyone. I mean, it would have been fine, but I have no problem with people that do that. Taking it out on a ride, especially California's Screamin', is idiotic. I mean, now I tape ride-through videos with my camera, but I don't, I'm not obnoxious about it, with it up in the air or whatever. I just have it next to me, or, you know, in my hand. You know, that's something totally different than this humongous stick that's above people's heads. I hated it with parades. It was obnoxious then, when people would, you could barely see as it was if you were towards the back of a large group trying to watch a parade, and then you see someone's stupid camera in front of your face because of the stupid selfie stick. You know, it was dumb. And then this past trip at Disneyland, I was standing in line at Big Thunder Mountain, and all of a sudden someone had it out on Big Thunder Mountain, and the ride attendant started laughing. They're like, "Hey, you! Put that down!" You know? That's all they need, is it to fall out of someone's hand and cause someone a concussion. behind them. You know, it's for the safety of everyone, really. And you know, selfie sticks, I guess I personally don't have one, but I guess they're good for people that like them. I don't know. I'm glad they're banned. But what do you guys think of the selfie stick controversy? Comment on the page. Alright, now heading over to Disney's Animal Kingdom. Last week we talked about the new Starbucks that opened, the Creature Comforts. This week we're going to talk about Zuri's Sweet Shop. It recently opened at Disney's Animal Kingdom. The location features 80 new items, including decorative candy apples, uniquely flavored chocolate bars, African spiced popcorn, animal-shaped lollipops, animal crackers, chocolate mini crocodiles, and some very interesting treats called animal poop. Yeah, that should be fun for the kids. And for people like me. The specials, like PBS, for viewers like you. The special snacks are available in flavors like elephant and giraffe. Don't worry though, they're chocolate and peanut butter flavored, so they'll taste good. Well, that's good to know, that it's not actually fresh off the safari. Zuri's Sweet Shop also offers African spice rubs, a gourmet cocoa set, and yes, flame tree barbecue sauce that you can take home in your suitcase, or whatever you pack. So, yeah, that sounds very interesting. Next time I head down to Animal Kingdom, who knows when that'll be, I'll definitely check that store out, and maybe I'll have to eat some poop. Yes, I just said that. Now over from the Animal Kingdom to the Disney World resorts, there are some new tastes to try over at Artist Point at the Wilderness Lodge Resort. Love the Wilderness Lodge, stayed there on my first trip. The new chef, Michael Gonzalez, has added quite a few new menu items that focus on America's Pacific Northwest. Regional dishes such as Douglas crab cakes, steamed mussels, cedar plank salmon, and wild-caught prawns and halibut are on the menu. Lots of seafood there for you seafood lovers. But the chef is trying out some new concoctions as well. A dashi braised short rib starter is served with kombu turnip pickles, daikon, and wild greens. Charred field asparagus with Berkshire prosciutto, mustard vinaigrette, and foraged greens also graces the menu. Oh, la-di-da. And straight out of the land at Epcot as well, with offerings such as the land green salad featuring Masamoto peaches and seed granola. Can you tell I'm more used to ordering things at, like, Wendy's than fancy restaurants? Of course, favorites such as the smoky portobello bisque, I knew how to say that one, with crispy shiitakes, luckily I knew how to say that, are still on the menu, as well as the buffalo strip steak from North Fork, Canada. Can you tell I don't visit Canada often either? For summer, Chef Michael is adding new cheese boards and is also working on a terrace dining experience with a communal chef's table. Sounds very interesting. I've never eaten at Artist Point, but the stuff definitely sounds good. So if you're in the mood for seafood at the Wilderness Lodge, definitely check it out. Alright, now heading over back to California. We sort of did a little bit of California to Florida to back to California trip this time, but whatevs. There are lots of D23 Expo news going down, and this week we learned, well, obviously we sort of knew this, but Pixar will have a huge presence at this year's D23 Expo. The giant Buzz Lightyear balloon from the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade will greet guests outside the Anaheim Convention Center as they enter the building to celebrate Toy Story's 20th anniversary. Of course, Pixar will have new announcements along with Walt Disney Animation Studios on their upcoming releases at the Every Story is a Journey, the upcoming films of Walt Disney and Pixar Animation Studios panel on Friday, August 14th at 3 o'clock p.m., not a.m., and in case you were wondering, at Hall D23. Never before seen footage from Zootopia, Moana, of course those are Walt Disney movies, and The Good Dinosaur and Finding Dory, which are Pixar, will be presented. There will also be a In Conversation with the Filmmakers and the Emotions of Inside Out panel, where you can join the director, Pete Docter, and the producer of the film, Jonas Rivera, as they tell stories about making the new hit movie on Friday the 14th at 11:30 a.m. at Stage 28. There will also be a panel called Pixar Secrets Revealed. Hear the stories they don't want you to know. Oh boy. Hear unknown stories and original ideas that didn't make it past the drawing board from your favorite movies as told by the storytellers of the films themselves on Saturday the 15th at 3:00 p.m. on Stage 28. And finally, a panel called Toy Story 20 Years Later, the original crew looks back, pays homage to the anniversary on Saturday the 15th at 4:30 p.m. on Stage 28. Of course, there will be a lot of Pixar action on the show floor as well. I will not, unfortunately, be in attendance to the D23 Expo. I know. I was planning to go, but I ended up not going, and I went for my birthday instead on the trip. Hopefully in 2 years I can get there. But we, at the Hitchhiking Host Show here, we will be keeping up to the minute updates about what's going on our social medias, on the show, and whatnot. So definitely come back to the Hitchhiking Host Show to get your D23 info, because it will be here. Yeah, so that's exciting. Lots of exciting news for Pixar fans who actually are attending the expo this time. And of course, 4th of July is this coming week. So if you happen to be in California, celebrate it at Disneyland. Disneyland will be presenting Disneyland Forever at 9:30 p.m. on July 4th. Following that will also be a special patriotic fireworks show. Over at Disney's California Adventure, a special pyrotechnic water display will be presented before all 3 performances of World of Color. Celebrate! At 9:00 p.m., 10:15 p.m., and 11:30 p.m. So check out both if you can. If you can, go past the huge crowds. And also military bands from the Air Force and Marine bands will be performing at locations throughout the Disneyland Resort from July 2nd to the 6th. So check those out as well. Well, that does it for this week's show. I'll be back next week with more news of whatever happens in the theme park world. And look out, my first ever Hitch Host 101 episode should be out later this week. It'll be available in video and podcast form, much like this. And we're going to learn a little bit about the Disneyland Railroad for Disneyland's 60th anniversary. We're starting all the way back in 1955, peeps. That's right. All right, so until next time, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. YouTube.com/HitchHostShow. You can listen to the show on Podbeam, HitchHostShow.podbeam.com. Like the Facebook page, Facebook.com/HitchHostShow. Follow on the Twitter and the Instagram at HitchHostShow. Until next time, don't forget to... for another episode. See ya.